Well, hey friends, if you can see me or hear me, wonderful. I am literally playing with a new app that can help me live stream. So we will paint and live stream if you can hear this. I am Jacqueline Drake and I am, well, about to paint, but I want to make sure I believe we are live right now. So this is great. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm in Brushwork VR. And, well, it's kind of neat. You can paint, obviously, on a canvas. But the cool part about this particular program is that we can actually change whatever environment we're in. And right now, I'm actually sitting in a stool in my actual art studio. And, it's rainy and cold. And, well, it's actually really cold up here right now. I'm in Michigan. And so seeing some of these beautiful landscapes sometimes can be really refreshing. And, takes your mind off a lot of other things when you're in these spaces. So let me show you a few that we can paint in. Today, we're in the Rocky Mountains. We could also switch and go to snowy mountains. I'm kind of tired of snow, though, to be honest. I live in Michigan. Oh, and this is rainy. So some people like to paint on a foggy rain day. Oh, pure gray, pure black, and white. And then there are these spaces that you can paint in also. This actually reminds me of Austin a lot. Or you can paint in a field. This is pretty neat. Or just the desert. Desert mountains. Oh, we're on Mars now. Now we can actually leave the planet, go to another planet. That's nice. Ooh, Night City. And we're back to the Rocky Mountains. I think we'll stick with this. And so I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to pull over my brushes. And I'm going to pull up you can adjust this to match whatever height you need. And then we have our awesome palette that we can actually change. There's many different kinds of palettes that we can choose. And right now we're going to start with this one. And if you know me, well, you know I never know what I'm going to paint. So I just kind of go with the flow, literally. I teach our patients that, and I tell people just paint whatever. Allow yourself just to be in it. And so we're just going to paint. And since we're in the deserts right now, maybe we'll paint something that's not the desert. And then you can mix colors in here too. I think we're going to need a little bit of white. And what's nice about brushwork, I've always loved this particular app because it reminds me a lot of, I work on really big canvases and in real life, IRL. And, well, this particular app really has a lot of texture and it really works similar to my acrylics. And so I really like Brushwork VR. There's a lot of this art that I've created in my spatial gallery as well, which if you have a VR headset, you're able to walk around inside of it. And if not, you can actually, that's the great thing about spatial, it's multi-platform, so you can use it in all different ways and still experience art in different realities, literally. And you kind of tilt it up a little bit and you start to feel it actually filling up kind of in your brush. And that tells you how much load of paint is on it, really. And if you don't like that much, you just tape it off. And then you can just blend. And I think that's the feature that I like the most in this app, is the blending capabilities. A lot of these apps, you can't blend. But I figured, since we're in the middle of the desert, let's paint some water. It seems kind of dry out here. So, we need some greens. Sometimes it doesn't erase off there. And as you can see, I like to use big brushes. That's just kind of how I roll. I'm hoping this is live streaming to my YouTube channel. So that's the test right now we're doing. But one so far. Hope it's working. But you can see we're starting to make a little painting. And right now I'm really kind of blending things and just kind of moving this paint around a little bit. The one thing that's great about painting in VR is there's no messes, friends. And there's actually an undo button too, so if you screw up, or if you don't like your brushwork, or best part is, hey, I need a new palette. I need some darker colors. And there we go. And then we have darker colors, just like that. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to paint in VR for all sorts of reasons. And one of the reasons is literally it's just too much fun not to try it. And even when you have to change your brushes, sometimes it can be tricky. But you always want to rinse. And then and start again. And I think I'm going back to my big brush to be able to pull some of this up and down and blend it a little bit more. If you go to my spatial gallery, in spatial, you'll actually see the pages of Morphe, which is my children's book that is alive and living quite well in spatial. And it's an adorable story about a little caterpillar that goes on a mindful journey. In my day job, I actually teach mindfulness and meditation every day. So, and I teach art as one of the incredible ways to really become mindful. So if you're following this and watching it, welcome. And I'd ask you, what have you created today? What have you created today? I think we're going to go to smaller brushes now and make some creatures. I think we're going to use that guy. And if things aren't closer to you, just adjust it. You can actually hold this like that. I can hold it. We're going to start making some ripples of water here. Oh, and I think we're going to make some lily pads. Mm-hmm. And just like you would paint anything else, you just paint. There's no special way. And yeah, maybe your lines aren't going to be exactly because, well, it is kind of tricky sometimes, but just play with it. There's no rules to VR art, guys. But I do need a different brush. Perhaps this one will work. So pretty sad lily pads. They bigger and darker. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that white's so thick. Okay, well, we need to fix that with a big brush. So, we need to fix it. Oh, maybe not this one. That's the smudger one. And actually, the water closer to you, well, at least down here, should be darker for us. So we're going to make this water a little darker. Well, I hope this is live streaming, and I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I guess that's the other, we'll see how the sound works on it. But I am using BeamXR, and let's hope you guys can hear me. We're going to do a bunch of these little ones over here. Well, we need to make those. Maybe those will be the shadows. Okay. Well, let's get a smaller brush. Sometimes it's tricky to really get the shape you want with these brushes because, like I said, I'm working in VR. So there is that. And it is a little bit different. It's, like I said, you have to have a little bit more control, but also it's pretty forgivable. So if I'm going to make a bunch of little lily pads over here. We're going to highlight some of them. It's funny, I've never put black into a painting. So we will stick with that idea. People always say to me, Jack, what happened to your art? Where is it? Well, my art's still your friends. It really has been. No, let's just say in a different space. It's hanging out in here. Why? Because it's magical. And to be able to paint in here is pretty cool. So, try it. Contact me. I am around. And I like to make lots of videos about painting. So, if you look further back in my YouTube channel, you'll see lots of art stuff from, previous galleries and stuff. But also a lot of my commissions I would literally make. Oh, you know what? Let's make a, we must make a little dragonfly. Maybe in like a dark blue green. And I'll get him a little more cuter in a minute. Him, like I know it's a guy. Little dude. Even the sounds of it sound like a real painting, guys. It's really neat. I feel like I'm totally in this. And filing presents. I don't know what the heck that looks like, but that doesn't look like us. Maybe their wings need to be a little closer. I don't have anything in front of me for a visual, so kind of winging it, but if it was moving really fast, it'd be like, wee. But, of course, I can always make little white butterflies. And sometimes you can kind of blend things in if it doesn't look great. I have no idea how long they are, but I think they're longer than they are wide. There you go, he's flying. And let's make this little guy blue. So, this, let me pull away for a minute. So I painted a pond in a desert. Let's do one more thing before we end this stream. And this is just a little sketch, something fun to show you guys, and also to test out and see if this works. And so far, I think it did. And we always need some sunlight coming in. I lost the little guy. But it's okay, we can fix that. We can fix that. And that, friends, there you go. But I could probably do a little bit more to this, but we'll take that as good enough for tonight. And tomorrow, if this works, we'll do more. So check out my streams. I'm trying to live stream and paint. This is pretty hard to do. Well, I'm Jacqueline Drake, guys, and I just painted a pond in a desert. So, let me know if you get this. I'm going to save this for sure, and yeah, let me know if you see this.